In this case, though, human beings are the target. Human beings are the target. Not the first human beings.
There's nothing. Everyone gets stereotyped, mate. Everyone gets tied in with the same brush. You're a drug addict, you're this, that, and the other. I'm not a drug addict, mate. I mean, I just try and get by live day by day.
Homeless people die on average 30 years younger than the general population.
My name is Joseph, and I'm homeless.
I feel like the government's let us down.
Some have compared the spikes to the ones used to stop pigeons sitting on buildings. Human beings.
Make some money for some food, some toiletries and clothes.
Being homeless is a pretty tough experience.
Make some money.
Don't use anymore. I've stopped using it. I just drink now. Well, you've got no choice. No, you've got no choice but to stand up for yourself because I can't go because of my legs.
Human beings.
He's got a broken wing. I seen him before. He's fine. He's just got a broken wing. No, don't touch him. He's got a broken wing. I seen it before. He's just got a broken wing. Sit down. Rain. You think it's going to be nice and then it rains and you get wet and everything gets wet. There you go. Mind you, you look alright. You look prepared for the weather. How old are you? 21. I had my boy by the time I was 21. And I was married. I moved here in 2000. I moved here and I've been on the streets six years. My husband's dead. I don't see my son no more. I might put him in my trolley. The pigeon, he's got a broken wing. I might move him. What am I going to do with a dead pigeon? I can't have it anyway because it's Scruffy. I've got a dog, Scruffy. Yeah. I look after everyone, me. I'm in charge. I know where everyone is. I look after every single person. Everybody's some shit nowadays. That's not deck, is it? I think my boy lives in New Zealand now. And the little faces light up. I feel like one of those. I mean, I'm 34 now, so. But I remember them. It used to happen. You know what the annoying thing is? When you're homeless, people say, oh, it's so sad when you see a homeless person and you must get so cold. I don't think that's true, you know. I don't really feel cold. I think your body kind of acclimatizes, do you know what I mean? Like, I say it as, if you were going to climb Everest, you were going to climb Everest every single day for 2 months. I mean, I know you'd have more than a breaking book. I don't think you'd feel cold. Not after a while. I mean, it might be wrong. I mean, you might freeze, but I hate it when it's freezing. It must be freezing. It must be so cold. I can sleep sitting up. I can sleep leaning on the door. I should go on Britain's Got Talent by being able to sleep standing up. It's not that bad. I mean, you kind of get used to it, you know. You kind of just, your body gets used to it. I kind of like it. It's kind of like one little home. Don't beg. Definitely don't beg. I think it's wrong to beg. I think it's wrong to ask people of their money, their hard-earned money. I don't think sitting there and going, oh, excuse me, please, could you give me some pennies? Nobody's going to want to do that, are they? Especially if you look like a drunk. No. And nobody's going to give you any money. That's why I keep myself to myself over here. And no one ever comes down here. It's like back alley. The only people that come down here are the people who work in the offices, and well, they don't mind. Actually, they do. They called the council twice. But they knew I wasn't causing any harm, so they didn't move me on or nothing. So I stay here now. And I've got 2 kids. 2 kids. Jacob and Jessica. They're toddlers now. I think they're 3 now. You know, on the street, anyone that says it's easy is lying to you. It's not easy. You've got to learn to sleep with one eye open. Even your own kind will steal off you. It's true if you've got something they want, some socks or some alcohol. Hey Joe! Don't go putting nothing in that bin now for me from that restaurant there. You can't see me, so don't forget I'm not here. Don't forget no bread rolls or no bottles of water or cigarettes in there for me. You can't see me. I'm not going to say nothing to you, I'm just talking out loud, just saying if there's any rolls or nothing in there, then I won't take them. Know where to look. Once you know where to look, you search it. Let's go here. Come on, look. Look yourself. I've never stayed in the same place for more than 3 months. Since I was 6. Since I was 6. I kind of like it. I kind of like being on my own. a lot of people who are on the streets. And I deal with a lot of people that they don't really have anyone. And the interesting thing is, 9 times out of 10, all they want is a conversation. Sometimes when they're begging for money, they just want somebody to talk to, just somebody to make them feel like a human being. Because who wants to be ignored? You see people selling the big issues, people just walk straight past them as if they don't mean anything. And I think, how is that fair? How is that fair that one human being who could have a life and a job one day can treat somebody exactly the same species as them so differently? I mean, it might just be me because I deal with them, but it doesn't make sense. But there are crimes around homeless people, of course there are, but 9 times out of 10 they're not caused by the homeless people. If you think about it logically, if they've got somewhere, they're not going to want to get moved on. So for me, it doesn't make sense. It's shit. It's so shit, and I'm not gonna lie. What do you want me to say? Well, you're asking me questions. It's shit, and the people are shit, and the drink is shit. You don't sleep, it's shit. When you don't sleep, I've got nothing. Right, I've got nothing. I lost my missus. Yeah, I lost my missus, and my missus lost her baby. She lost our baby because I lost my job, yeah? Now I've got nothing. So don't ask me, how do you feel about being on the street? I fucking hate being on the street. There's only one person that looks out for us. That's Tully. She's the only person that does whatever we want her to. And she actually cares about people, you know? People look at you and they say, you're disgusting. You're disgusting and you're a tramp. You're a dirty animal and we hate you. People piss on me. People piss on me. What did I do to deserve that? No one deserves that. Excuse me. Excuse me. I love your shoes. I love your shoes. I've got some of them. Are they Maxis? Aye. They're Maxis. I've got them. I've got white ones. I don't wear them now. White ones. I love my shoes. I love my clothes. I've got so many clothes. I've got the top with the wee bird on the top. The wee beach bird. Aye, Hollister. I've got some trousers from Top Man. I've got oh, that top with the wee man on the elephant. The wee man on the elephant holding that stick. I won't ever needs anything, I think I put a long list. And it says where people are. And it says what they need. And I get it for them because they can't get it for themselves. They don't serve no one in off license. But you know the weird thing? I do all these things for people. I haven't really got anyone. I haven't really got anyone that looks out for me. I think it's important to believe in something. I think it's important to believe in something other than this. Like, I believe in God, but I'm not saying everyone should believe in God. I don't think that's right, but I think it's so important that people should think, like, this isn't it. This isn't all there's ever going to be. I think there's got to be something else. There's got to be something else that is watching over us and making these things happen. Like, one day, I was working in a shop, and the next day, I'm living outside. Like, how can you say that we control that? That's why I don't take anything for granted. Like, I know I'm on the streets, but I think things are going to get better. Things are going to improve. Things have to improve. So I've seen so many people die. So many people die because of how sad they are. And I just think, don't take anything for granted. And I think that's so important. You never know what's going to happen. No one does. Do you know what I did once? I bet you're like, oh, why? How she got kids? Where are her kids? Like, I don't like to talk about it, but I will. I know you're going to think I'm stupid because most people think I'm stupid to tell me off. But I thought if I had a family, of my own, like I've never had a family before. So if I had a family of my own, I'd sort myself out, like. And I don't think it's right. But anyway, to get on the housing register, I got myself pregnant and I don't know who the baby dad is. I can't tell you that. I got myself pregnant and it worked because I got to the top of the register. I got to the top of the register and I went for my scan. I went for my scan and I was having 2 babies. I was having twins. And I got taken off the register. They took me off the register and I was with my babies for 1 hour. I was with them for 1 whole hour. I didn't even get a picture. And then they took them off me. Now I'm back here. Don't ask me what the point of this all is, because I don't want to answer your questions anymore. I don't want to answer you anymore. I've got to go to the station. People are going to be wondering where their travel cards are gone. I don't want to talk to you anymore. You can't just poke your nose in people's business like that. It's not fair. I want you to go. I don't want to talk to you no more. It's not fair. and if they talk to me, I'll talk back to them. And they actually asked me for a cigarette. And now I smoke, so I went to give them all a cigarette. But instead of asking for one each, they took one cigarette, lit it between the four of them, passed it down the line, and then the one on the end stood up and walked to the other end of the high street to share his one cigarette with all the other people that were homeless on the other side. Now how can you say that's not amazing? Because then not 50 yards down the street, I walked outside an off-licence where a group of lads who were obviously just going to a club had bought a pack of cigarettes. One of the lads started to open the box. All the other lads swarmed over and took one cigarette out each for themselves. I just think that's incredible. Ask me now. How many times have I gone into hospital? 3. 3 times in the past year. Why? I tried to kill myself. 3 times. How sick is that? Yeah? The reason I tried to kill myself is because I knew when that ambulance was called, them people, they'd have to listen to me. They'd have to, because it's their job. How sick is that? I have to bleed, and I have to nearly die for someone to listen to me. For someone to actually treat me like a human being. I just think we're all the same. That's all I think. Anyone should be made to feel like any different. We're not. I mean, we're not. And sometimes it would be dead nice just to be treated the same.
About this frog. It's a very tiny frog, but it's also very special. You can only find it in the jungle, so far away from you. But if you find it, and if you touch it, your world can change forever. If you touch its skin, you can feel your body change. Vision also. Blue becomes red, and red becomes blue. And your mommy suddenly becomes your daddy. And everything looks like a giant cupcake. And you keep laughing and laughing and laughing. Nothing is ever quite the same, really. And after you finish laughing, it's time to turn into a frog yourself. It's very funny to be a frog. You can dive into the water and cross the rivers and the ocean. And you can jump all the time and everywhere. Do you want to play with me? We can be a whole group of friends, a whole group of frogs, jumping into the streets, jumping into the planet.
wouldn't quite be able to function without them. They're our pets, our friends, our family, a source of beauty, entertainment, and food. Beauty, entertainment, food. Beauty, entertainment, food.
Almost all of us grew up eating meat, wearing leather, going to circuses and zoos. We bought our beloved pets from pet stores, had guinea pigs, rabbits, cats and dogs, and we always dreamed of swimming with dolphins in SeaWorld. But we never considered the impact that these actions have on the animals involved. People always ask the question, should animals have rights? And the answer is quite simply yes. Animals should be free to live their lives from suffering and exploitation. Jeremy Bentham, the founder of the reforming utilitarian school of modern philosophy, stated that when deciding on a being's rights, the question is not, can they talk, nor can they reason, but can they suffer? Suffering is a vital characteristic that gives a being the right to equal consideration. Animals suffered in the same way and to the same degree as humans. They feel pain, pleasure, fear, frustration, and love.
Rabbits scream in pain as their fur is ripped violently from their skin, and they must endure this torturous procedure over and over, every 3 months in fact. Rabbits who have their fur cut or sheared also suffer. Their limbs are bound and their bodies are stretched out, and the cutting tools almost always leave them wounded as they struggle to escape. After experiencing such extreme pain, some rabbits go into shock and are unable to move once they're returned to their filthy, cramped cages. The rabbits who suffer this torture for 2 to 5 years end up having their throats slit and their dead bodies skinned or sold.
More than half the fur from the US comes from China, where millions of cats and dogs are bludgeoned, hanged, bled to death, and often skinned alive for their fur. Chinese fur is often deliberately mislabeled, so if you wear any fur, there's no way of knowing whose skin you're in. Some of the animals' hearts are still beating for 5 to 10 minutes after they are skinned.